So it sounds like we may have a possible deal on opening the government. It sounds like they have gotten 8 senators to agree to pass a resolution that would open the government, funding everything through January 30th, and there would be 3 programs that would be funded to the end of the year, one of them being SNAP, that food stamps would be covered. Now, what are Democrats getting out of this? Well, they're not getting Affordable Care Act subsidies if this passes. There would be a promise for a vote later. And I've been talking about it, and I think if that's all they get out of it, that's pretty weak. Now, the rest of the bill has some interesting things in there. Supposedly, all of the people laid off by Donald Trump would be rehired, as far as anybody who was laid off during the shutdown. There would also be provisions in making sure everybody who was furloughed got back pay, even if they didn't work, which I said would probably happen. That is typically how these shutdowns go. There would also be protections preventing reduction in force things for Donald Trump. Now, he may not even sign this damn thing because of that, because he wants to just fire anybody willy-nilly, and he doesn't care. There's also supposed to be some other protections in there about making sure that there's a bipartisan process going forward for the budget, at least during the next couple of years, and not just use continuing resolutions and going around the other party. Now, we'll see if any of this comes to pass. This may not even get through the House. Once the Senate passes it, first they have to advance the bill, close the bill or whatever that the House passed, and then get to the point where they're amending it. Okay, once they start the amendment process, then it's going to go back to the House, and that may be there by the end of the week. They would have to come back and actually vote to pass it. And Hakeem Jeffries is saying House Democrats don't want to vote for it unless the Affordable Care Act subsidies are on there. They may be able to get it put back in and sent back to the Senate yet. This is far from over, but it sounds like the Senate Democrats, at least some of them, have caved enough to get it moving forward. Chuck Schumer's pissed that he's angry that this is getting put forward without the Affordable Care Act subsidies, and they just have a promise of a vote in December. If this is how it ends up happening, and they may be holding that vote as of tonight, maybe tomorrow, this could kill any of the momentum Democrats had going forward. People were hoping, and they were proud that Democrats were standing up. If this blows up in their face and they do not get those Affordable Care Act subsidies passed in December, it's bad news for Democrats.